Hey there, friend, and welcome to my January 6th. Today started a bit slow. I didn't fall asleep until later last night, and it was all my fault. I got sucked into a TikTok hole, and yeah, that thing gets me. I don't normally spend a lot of time on TikTok. I just happened to go on it last night, and yeah, there we were at close to midnight, realizing that I should really go to bed. So it's quite a bit past my normal bedtime. Normally 10:30 to 11 is where it's at. But yeah, just kind of got the day started slowly here and finishing up some of these vegan quesadillas that Jesse made the other day, which I love, and doing some studying.
For our data warehouse, what we'll do then is store our facts in what we'll call a fact table. And we'll learn more about fact tables later.
I am currently brushing up on some data warehousing and business intelligence stuff for prepping for job interviews and to make sure that I'm proficient going back into the space. Jesse is on a call right now upstairs. As you saw, the dogs are sleeping. Yeah, I'm really kind of just enjoying this quiet time. I love, like, on sunny days, this room, the natural lighting in here is just so nice. And yeah, when it's quiet in here too, I just absolutely love it. So yeah, I'm taking, usually at lunchtime, I'll do something like this, just kind of slow down a little bit, put my phone down outside of sharing a little bit. And then a lot of times I'll connect with people too. So I might do a little bit of that after this. And then this afternoon, Wednesdays is like over the past year, but especially the past few months, has been my busiest day of the week because that's my main client call day. Now today, I only have one client call. Supposed to have two, one got rescheduled. But the other reason that it's been busy for the past couple months is that I also have a lot of football stuff going on Wednesdays. So I have a solo podcast that I do, and then I host a podcast with two other guys this evening. And this is going to be changing soon. Everything's going to be changing soon. But with football season coming to an end, those things will be going away. This is the last week that I'm doing both of those podcasts. I'll still be a little bit involved in stuff throughout the playoffs, but not to the degree that I have been this season and the regular season. So I'm really looking forward to that. It's been awesome to have this opportunity with this this site this year, which I've just like totally loved being a consumer of for the past handful of years. So really cool opportunity. Just really, really grateful that I had this. It was like a total dream come true. I mean, it's still like weird to me that it's even happened. So yeah, I'm feeling really grateful for that, and it's been super fun, but at the same time, like football season is just intense because it's kind of all consuming. And yeah, I'm like ready to let that go. At the end of the year, I'm always ready to like, all right, and take some space back. And yeah, so that's going to be, the last things for those today. But that'll take up most of my afternoon and evening today. So I might bring you along for some of that to show you. Sometimes when I really get into that stuff, I forget to film or share to jump on either here, Instagram, or whatever. But yeah, maybe I'll bring you along for some of that. But that is really, like I said, pretty much the rest of my day is doing either client stuff or some football. So yeah, with that, maybe I will be checking in at some point or kind of like later when my day is done. Normally kind of spent at the end of a Wednesday, so we'll see if I actually jump in, but yeah. So later in the afternoon, Jesse and I both ended up at the table doing some work here. She was wrapping up a podcast for one of her clients. I believe she was transcribing it. Meanwhile, I am sitting here researching for my football podcast. As the host of the podcast, I am the one that's in charge of creating the flow of the conversation. So I was doing that here, just kind of writing my notes. The guys will get to see those notes as well. And this is actually something that I've learned I really enjoy. I love planning out from a high level, the flow of something and kind of facilitating that and thinking through that has just been something that I really enjoy. And that really can kind of trickle into many different areas. Jesse had started to make dinner here, vegan fajitas with portobello mushroom as the quote-unquote meat, which I am really excited to try. All right, just finished up my podcast for the fantasy football thing that I do. As I mentioned earlier, final one of the year. This was the one that I do with the two other guys, so we just kind of reminisced a little bit at the end. Kind of crazy that it's been 18 weeks of doing this podcast. It feels like it's been forever, but also like we just started and we were all new and fresh at it. But yeah, as I mentioned earlier, just like a really, really cool opportunity. And even if it doesn't continue in the future or whatever, I really, truly couldn't even care at this point because I am just so grateful to have been able to do something like this, which also just kind of makes me think, I know it's something that I've learned about myself. It's something that I've learned about other big thinkers and deep feelers through friends and clients, which is we tend to just like to experience things. We like to have a variety of experiences. We like to engage with life in a way that feels fun, interesting, meaningful, different. And that's like one of those things that I've just really appreciated and been okay with not living a very linear, kind of like normal lifestyle and prioritizing trying different things, even if that means failing at things or tossing them to the side and trying something else rather than just a very linear way of living. And that's kind of where this whole idea of, and all this verbiage I use around like living life as an adventure as opposed to this very like linear blueprint. That's why nature speaks to me in general, but also just this larger kind of this idea that our life is our adventure and living it in that way. And so that's just how I live my life. And I say that and share that because it's been really helpful for me to frame that way. And that's one of the things I've done with clients and in programs and things like that is to start with that paradigm shift, because even that alone, once you start viewing your life that way, as opposed to what the majority, the 80 or 90% of the population is doing, at least here in the Western world, which is this very kind of cut and dry lifestyle. Once you embrace the fact that that's not what feels right to you or not what you're meant to do, and start to like allow that to be a truth and allow yourself to prioritize experiences and seeing life as an adventure, it can be a really powerful thing. So I feel like I just said one thing in a handful of different ways, but I feel like it's just a really, really impactful thing to kind of like know about yourself and the way that you go about living your life. So yeah, if you have comments or thoughts or anything on that, questions for me about how I've done that in my life, whatever, hit me up with in comments. I would love to hear from you, my fellow big thinker and deep feeler. But with that, it's 8:30 here. I am, as I had mentioned earlier, I am tired from doing a bunch of these things today. So I have to send this audio once it because we do this over Zoom. So once this Zoom meeting converts, have to send that over, and I'll probably chill the rest of the night, just kind of unwind. I'll go downstairs and see what Jesse's up to, but that's probably it for me today. So yeah, thanks for hanging out on January 5th, and I will see you tomorrow.